Hello students, welcome back. In this tutorial video, we are going to learn about the way to evaluate or critically read an article on a website, or simply say evaluating website. For your information, this is the first section of critical reading because we have to deal with the topic of discussion regarding to critical reading, which are first evaluating the website and second evaluating text. For learning objective, well, after completing this tutorial, I hope that you will be able to first analyze and evaluate website accurately and effectively, and second, examine key areas such as accuracy, relevancy, authority, accuracy, and the purpose of a website. And the last is to strengthen your ability to critically assess website by yourself as your research resources. And here are two topics that we are going to discuss today. The first about the author and the second about the web. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you to prepare your learning equipment like papers or notebook and your pen in case you need to write down a note during the session. However, you should remember that this is an online video, meaning that you can replay or go back or forward at any time you need, because by going paperless you can help our planet and save our world as well. Alright, without further ado, let's get started. Why do we need to evaluate a website? So look at this illustration. Here we can see a student claim that he had copied every information straight off the internet, but unfortunately he got an F. And here the teacher seemed to tell the student that the facts taken from internet were invalid. So meaning you shouldn't believe the information from the internet as the way it is. Because actually the internet has revolutionized research. Instead of looking only at print resources, it is now possible to have fast and easy access to the best or even to the worst source on the web. This may make you think that the internet is a better source for information than books or journals, while in fact you need to be more careful with information found on the web, because anyone can set up a web page. In contrast, the publisher of print materials, even those available online, carefully control and check what goes under their name. Some studies actually have shown that most people judge a website on its look rather than its content, so be careful not to fall into this trap. Okay, so here I have the other two examples of spoof news from internet. So check this one. So the first is about Dog Island, and it is stated that Free Forever Dog Island, the ultimate resort for your favorite canine. So what do you think about this website? Is it for real or not? Right, this site is a spoof purely for entertainment. So what about the second? Okay, here I have another web entitled Help Save the Endangered Pacific Northwest Tree Octopus from Extinction. You can see here we have a picture of a tree with octopus-like shape. So what do you think about this website? Is it a real site or a spoof? What is your answer? Right, the information provided in the second website here is also a fake. There are several points to consider when you want to evaluate a website. First thing to notice is about the author. As a reader, you have to carefully evaluate the capability of the author or the creator of the website in order to know whether they are qualified or expert enough in the given topic. And here are some questions that you can use when assessing the credibility of the author. First thing, you have to find the name of the author or the creator on the page. And the second, are his or her credentials listed, such as is there any explanation about occupation, years of experience, position, or educational background. And the third, is the author qualified to write on the given topic, and why you say so. Well, let's take a look on this example. I took an article from www.nytimes.com, New York Times, and this is an opinion article. From this excerpt, what do you think? Who's the author of this opinion? Yes, the author is the editorial board. Who are they? Are their expertise on the given topic? Well, in newspaper publishing, the editorial board usually consists of senior journalists with their respectful credibility, and their job usually is to decide the content of the news. However, it is provided in the website the explanation about who the editor board is. So the editor board is a group of opinion journalists whose views are informed by expertise, research, debate, and certain long-standing values, and it is separate from newsroom. Well, by knowing this illustration or this explanation, what do you think? Are they qualified enough? Yes, they are qualified to talk about the issue. So more about the author that we have to closely look at is about the contact information, such as email address or telephone number. Why it is confidential to know? Well, because it is a signal that we can reach them to clarify the content of the article through this additional information. So what about this article? Okay, so this article has an email address, okay, written at the end of the page. So meaning that we can reach them, or we can complain, or we can object to their opinion by sending a letter to their email. Well, the second thing is about the website. You need to know about the domain name or URL. So you must to know that every domain name has a suffix which indicates which top-level domain it belongs to. So see the box. For some common domain name suffixes, here we have .ac.uk, this is for academic, and .biz, it is usually for commercial business. .edu, this is for academic purposes, and also .ac as well. .com, it is for commercial. .gov, it is for government. .info, it is for information, but anyone can register into a domain, so be careful. And .ent, this is for international treaty-based organizations such as NATO. And after that we have .mil, or for military, and .org. Look at this is for non-profit organization, and .net, it is network, so anyone can register a net domain. Well, education info institutions such as .edu or .ac can be very reliable, but you should know that this institution provide web space for faculty, staff, and students as well. So the web addresses for individuals at the university will also end in .edu, and the university has no quality control over the content of this site, so you have to be careful. And for commercial website .com, so usually they show bias when promoting their product and also criticizing their competitor. And for a .org means that the website belongs to a non-profit organization, but be careful, it's just like .net also. This domain can be created freely by anybody, so you have to be careful. And here are common country codes such as .au for Australia, .cn for China, and so on. So what do you think for Indonesia? What is our country code? .ina, if I'm not mistaken. And the second, you have to be careful. You have to be careful to know the apparent purpose of the web. Could there be a hidden purpose? So for hints about the site's purpose, check this area on this set. The first one, you can check the about or about us. You can check the sponsor, or maybe biography, background, or philosophy if they post it. And you have to be pay attention to this kind of open source web like Wikipedia or online encyclopedia, because anyone can contribute to it, so you should check the information in other sources to make it a balance, to check and recheck. And for the last, you have to be careful also when dealing with this personal journal web like blog, because you have to pay attention to the accuracy of the information by first one looking at the blog roll. So the blog roll is the blogs that the blogger monitors or blogs that he or she recommend. So by looking at this blog roll, it indicates the potential bias or authority of the blog. And the second, you have to ask, does the blogger have influence? Who's commenting on the blog post? Is the blog socially interactive? Are there many comments left by others in the nature of conversational exchange? And the last, you also have to ask this question, are the comments monitored by the blogger? So does the blogger occasionally respond to the comments, or is the site free of comment spam? So comment spams are posts in the comment section with the only purpose is to submit links to other sites, usually malicious sites. And the last is the information provided accurate and relevant. So what is the difference between accuracy and relevancy? Relevance related to the coverage. You can ask this question when assessing a web. Look at, does the site cover your topic? Are there any links to additional information? If yes, do they complement the site's theme? And what is information you found? Is the information for free? Is it comprehensive? Does it provide you with information you need? Or is the information a summary? Or does it provide you with a complete document or research? And does the site require you to download any special software to view the information presented? You can use this kind of question when evaluating the relevance of a website. And the second, about the accuracy. So for accuracy, you need to dig the information on the site. Is it correct? And how do you know? So you can ask yourself this question, can I prove or back up the information on the site without other sources? Does the site provide any citation for facts, or maybe does they provide statistics? Is any important information missing? Is the information believable? What about the readability? Is the site well written, free of grammatical, spelling, or other typographical errors? You have to pay attention to this kind of accuracy. Alright, still about evaluating website. Here I have an example taken for foodinsight.org. And the title is A New Study Adds to the Debate Over Daily. Right, the domain, look at first. The domain is .org. Do you still remember about the .org? Yes, it is. It belongs to a non-profit organization. Now, let's see about the About Us. So Food Insight is the information hub created and curated by nutrition and food safety expert at the International Food Information Council, or IFIC. Now, by knowing this fact, what do you think? Right? You can know the purpose of the web. And look at, to learn more about us, please visit evic.org. So they provide also the supporting link. And this is the article entitled New Study Adds to Debate Over Dairy. So look at here. Find the author, right? The author is Alison Webster, PhD, RD. So by knowing the educational background of the author, we can see that the author is capable or qualified to talk about this issue. And also look at the date. The date shows us the currency. It was written November 7th, 2018. So it is still relevant. And look at here, the first subtitle, new study published in the Lancet, is hot off the presses, and the result may surprise you. Higher intake of total dairy, more than 2 servings of dairy per day, was associated with lower risk for mortality and cardiovascular disease. But what does the findings mean to you? Should you make a switch from skim to whole milk? We have assessed the study and put the findings into perspective. Read on to get our take. So this paragraph shows us about the coverage of the news, and it shows about the relevance. Now, this is the article, the next page of the article. Why was this study done? Methods and result. Look at why was this study done is the purpose of the article. And here are also we can find links for information checking. Those are the ones which underlined and written in a green color. So those provide links for information checking, meaning that this writing is allow the reader to check the accuracy of the information. And for the result, it is it shows us about the relevance and related about the coverage of the information on this web article. And this is the last page of this article. So look at here we have 2 paragraphs that shows about the limitation of the research, the limitation of the articles. Pay attention to the word and confounding variables and another major pitfalls. Those 2 diction show us the limitation. So the author not only show about the result but also show us about the relevance. So I think that this article is a good one. And the last one, that is such a conclusion by putting the study into the context. So it shows us again about the coverage and relevance. And for the last, we can see that this blog includes contribution from two other authors, Elisa Ardolino RD and Megan Meyer PhD. Those are the additional authors, and I believe by knowing the educational background PhD, they are capable to talk about this issue. Well, here we find another pitfall of another flaws of this article, that we cannot find any reference section at the end. So for the accuracy, it is less accurate when we cannot find the reference section. While for the conclusion of the article, we can conclude that for the accuracy, quite update and timely, and for the author and the website, it has reputable authors and reputable website because the website belongs to IVIX. And for the relevancy and accuracy, the article is relevant. It shows its coverage, internal links, and also limitation. However, it doesn't provide references. And for the purpose, we can see that the article and the website cover various issues of scientific research, particularly about food and nutrition. That's the end of our tutorial today. So thank you, and don't forget that this presentation template was created by SlidesGo, so my credits goes to SlidesGo for the PowerPoint template. Well, stay safe and stay healthy.